Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second of my Cities of Sigmar diary progress hobby videos. A little different. And yes, it's been since September. There we go, I said it. Since we've done one of these. And last time I was outside, it was nice and warm and heard the crickets in the background. It was a good time. But now it's December 24th, so Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you're having a good time, even though this will probably come out on Christmas Day. And I'm fighting off a little bit of cold, so if I have a few coughs here and there, I apologize. I'm going to try my best to not do that to your lovely, lovely ears while I regale you about the progress of my Cities of Sigmar army. So, where are we at? You might see this lovely shield on screen now, which is the intended paint scheme, which I have not done any of yet because I've had a few other projects land on my plate that I can't talk about, but they're all right over there. So if you watch my other content, you probably realize that, yep, I haven't been posting much hobby lately because most of my hobby has been stuff I can't talk about for Games Workshop. Regardless, I have made progress with the Cities of Sigmar, and I'm excited with where they're at. And while I'm, to be honest, mostly excited about the upcoming Old World release, and I want to do some videos on that. And actually, comment below if you want me to do rules or just talk about lore or anything of the Old World, and let me know what you're interested in below in the comments. That'd be great. Also, like and subscribe because that's what cool people do. But anyway, this is a Cities of Sigmar show, episode, video thing. So yeah, so where have I been? I'm happy to say that everything has been fully built for the army, 2,000 points. Um, there was some minor adjustments at the end as some points increases happened, which I'm all for. Points changes need to happen on things needed points to go up, such as Fusiliers. But it's also frustrating after everything's been ordered and then points go up and you have to readjust your army. But here we are. Anyway, so let's dive into it. Let's take a look at all the lovely kitbashed models that I've done because every single model in here has an additional bit or a kit bash or something cool going on with it. I dived deep into my bits box, got kind of lucky with some purchases off some local friends who were selling some old world stuff, which fit perfectly because originally I was going to, well, we'll get into it. We'll get there. So, to kick it off, my general on foot, just simple little kit bash, and here's the thing too. Since this city is a perfect blend of Sigmarites and Alarial faithful, I wanted to really bring that across. So, as you notice with the general here on foot, he still has a Sigmar hammer. He's still very much a human, but he's picked up some of the ways of the what were they called? What are the wood elves called in Age of Sigmar? Since they're all gone technically at the worst possible time for me. Um, the hooded helm, little pet familiar, but still very much like a human, as you can tell. And he was my first kit bash I did. So very fun. Obviously added some wood elf rune bits at the bottom too, but yeah, it was a fun little kit bash. It was, it even has some wood elf daggers on the side there. I wanted to blend it without overdoing it one way or the other, and I think he kind of achieved that perfectly. So, and since he's going to be in every army, perfect, great. I'm very happy with the way he turned out. And there's this little side companion. Not sure why it's a secondary piece, just for rules, when maybe it should have been like another hero, but his army is kind of flush with heroes, so I get it. But, wanted to get rid of the little shrine thing he was carrying, and he's just got a little pet owl, and then he's got a wood elf cloak, but still, like I said, very much human, while getting across that this is a army set in Gyran, and once the color scheme and symbols go on, you'll be able to tell it's living cities. So the Alchemical Warforger. This was a fun one because he definitely seems more like he fits in Akshi more than anything else. So it's like, how do I take this and bring it into Gyran overall? The tongs were an easy swap for the nice little wood elf glaive there. The helmet took a little bit of doing, but I was happy with the way it turned out. And like I said, then I just filled his pot instead of with molten stuff, just with vines and growth from Sylvaneth. So he looks more like a gardener. And like the oversized glaive is there to help him prune back the excess growth as opposed to, anything molten. So I'm looking forward to seeing the paint scheme really come out on him. Definitely make like him very dirty, like he's in the garden all day type thing. So we'll see. But yeah, he's not my favorite model in the range, but I'm pretty happy with how he's going to look, like, once he's painted. Like, I feel good about him. Then we get into the Cavaliers. So, nothing too extreme you'll see here. You'll notice at the top there's a additional crown that you usually see on Wood Elves. Like I said, I try to keep it subtle. You'll see lots of bits on the bases from the old Wood Elf stuff. Once again here, might be kind of hard to tell exactly on some of these what it is, but I think he has a Wood Elf shield. Let's zoom in here. If we can. Yep, and you see, like, obviously down here there's vines and such on the horses as well. So it's trying not to overdo it while still bringing across the theme. Oh, that's what he has. He has a nice little Sylvaneth sword there. That's his little bit. Like I said, every model's going to have 1 to 2 bits. A few might have more, but not too much, just enough. And then my general for the unit, General Champion. Obviously, you can very much tell where the bit is from. Now, obviously, technically, this is a high elf bit, but they were the protectors of Alariel, the Sisters of Avalorn, and then when they came across to Age of Sigmar, they were put with the Wood Elves because of Alariel, and so I definitely want to keep that theme across, at least with the protectors of nature and all that. So I was very pleased with this, and like came out great. And like I said, giving her an axe is just fun because an axe is an enemy of the woods per se. So seeing the protector of life and also it just kind of blends. I do see this maybe more. This might be more of a human who just taken on the styling of elves by living with them so long. Next up here, another one of the Cavalier units. You can see he has a Wood Elf shield right there. Nice and simple, but also this is the original, typical champion. And I guess you could still use him as such, but I didn't have to change much on him. I just threw the shield on because the antler stag helmet is just perfect for this army, so didn't have to do much with him. And of course the standard in the unit, as you can tell, I kept the same standard, but gave it the old Wood Elf top there. Nice and simple. It kind of fit in there very easily. That's a nice thing. I'm very comfortable with kit bashing now that I can kit bash and cut with, and usually have to do very minimal green stuffing on things like this. Like, it's a very simple kit bash, but still, it gets the effect across very much so. And there we are, whole unit together. As you can see, these are all pictures during the build process. You can see my bits pile back there I kept sorting from. I had more. That was like the hot bits pile, the ones I kept going to over and over again. Next up is my first unit is Steel Helms here. So just zoom in here. I can't remember if I have individual pictures of all these. I don't think I do, but pretty simple. You'll see some Wood Elf cloaks and some bows mixed in here. Obviously, little dryad bit here at the top with like one of the little spites, whatever they're called here. Since there was like this unicorn bit up here on the flag, just naturally with the army, I dug out an old high elf horn for this guy too. So once again, keep that uniform theme, uniform theme of the unicorns. And then if you go across here, you'll see various weapons and bits and sprites and vines and shield swaps, just minor stuff. Yeah, this is always fun. Little helm swap there. And then obviously vines and stuff. So like I didn't want them, like I said, don't want to seem too busy, just want them to seem kind of cool. So there we go. And then this, I think, is the second unit of Steel Helms, which, see, nice little Sylvaneth axe there on champion. Some more bits. You can see this is an old Wood Elf bit. I don't know which unit it's from. Probably the original metal Eternal Guard. Fit on there nicely. Made it very top heavy. There's a big hefty coin underneath there to keep this guy balanced. And you can see, like, some simple stuff here. Like, I like this. Just some leaves attached to the shields. This guy I guess he's the priest in the unit, whatever it is. Want to make him seem like he was a guy be out in the woods a lot. So, tuning with nature. And then, actually, the theme of this whole unit, you can see here, different various axes. It's between Sylvaneth axes, Wood Elf axes, and then just the human axes. Just little fun stuff like that. And you see everything has a bit. Somewhere, somehow, some way, from the Wood Elf, the Sylvaneth line. And boom, here we are, have them all together. This was like my first batch. So this was essentially when I got that starter box, the collector's box, everything inside of it, plus an additional battle mage that I already made up long ago. So everyone together. And like I said, it's a little battle mage I made. Um, it was actually for my old Cities of Sigmar army, which was Harkonnen, technically Anvil Guard. But since that is no more, I kind of pieced those models, since it was all Dark Elf and Dwarf, and then a few humans. Piece those back out to old Hammer stuff, or moved them as allies with my Daughters of Cain, just for something fun and different. And this one, I looked at it, and just like, it just stood out to me. It was a kit bash off of a free Lumineth Realm Lords model I got. I think it was the Bowman. Um, Sentinels, and then I just kit bashed it with bits. And then the more I looked at it, it's like, you know, this kind of fits in the new army, so let me just bring this model over there. I will readjust it. And yes, I primed over it. I'm gonna repaint it, but because there's gonna be a whole new paint scheme. But I was happy to just leave this model as part of it. It's a very cool model, and it can swap between being a battle mage in my mind or just being a sorceress, so I can have a second one. And since they're usually around the same price as for price points, it works out nicely in my list building. So there we go. We had some additions coming in then, because I realized I had an extra Tree Lord box, so I made a Tree Lord Ancient to be an ally with this army, because it just makes sense to have a Sylvaneth ally in this army. I don't want to have a ton. I usually don't like allying in other units into a book, but for this instance, it just seemed to work with me. Um, and I had an extra one of these from a big build I did where I built 85 boxes of these trees for Games Workshop for our US Open events. So I had kept one in reserve for myself, and this seemed to be the perfect place to put it, because he naturally has the spell to summon a tree. Not that it's gonna do much in my games, but it's cool and thematic, and that's the only reason I see to do anything in this game. So then we come to the next cool thing. And don't mind some of the background. I was doing other hobby projects during all these pictures, like adding to old wood elves or Sylvaneth. But most important, this picture is going to be what's up front here. So if you've read the book and seen reviews, which I'm sure you have at this point for Cities of Sigmar, you know that there's the Command Corps, which is my least favorite type of unit in this game, because it's just so much to balance and so much to manage within a rule set. But it is a cool way to show off some creativity. And I won't lie, there's of the Free Guild Command Corps kit that you can buy, there's only one model in it that I liked, and it was the big guy with the axe and the bear helm. Like, he was cool. The rest just didn't jive with me. Good sculpts, I mean, very well done, but like, I don't like the little death with the little duty guy. The surgeon was kind of cool. She was probably my second favorite. The assassin just looked plain and boring, and yeah, it was just like the whole kit overall was just like a 3 out of 10 for me. Excuse me, sorry about that. But if you read the rules, you need this kit in your army if you're going to try and win games in Age of Sigmar currently. So I said, let me dive into my bits box, find the stuff I have laying about, and kit bash stuff. So I had an extra Slaughter Queen, put on a nice little High Elf Sisters of Avalorn head, a little bit of Wood Elf stuff here and there. Boom, there's my assassin. This is actually a fun one. I forgot I had this because actually I bought it for my wife, and it's been sitting for years, so she never did it. It's the 40k Inquisitor Greyfax, I believe is her name. So I kind of pulled that out, and just kind of like removed all the stuff that was spacey. Gave it a steel helm, hat, and really didn't have to do much other than just add these little bits and bobs here. Like, imagine where potions and bandages go, and then I found a little bit that looked like a perfect little knife. So it's like a little combat saw knife for healing, and it just worked really well. So I was very happy with this one. Granted, I wouldn't recommend going this deep. I had these bits, and I'd already spent that money, because technically you're looking right here. That's already a very expensive kit bash just for a few parts of this unit. And then on the other side here, the the spirit death person, I decided to make it a Sylvaneth spite. Put a little death thing on the back here. I wanted to make you see like, oh, okay. I mean, obviously there's base sizes, but I want you to look at it and be like, oh, I bet it's that thing. I'm like, yeah, it's that. It's the death one. That's why it has the head there, which was ripped off another Cities of Sigmar kit. And then like a little gremlin. It's kind of in the same pose, but he's not like the duty dead guy. Um, and down here you'll see we have the excuse me, the little pet. I do like the griffin, but it's hard to find that. But I was like, I have lots of extra Sylvaneth bits, so let me just make a little bug pet to go with these guys. That seems to make sense for their companion. And then over here, the last two. This is my take on the axe person. Originally, I will say this: things have adapted and evolved over time, and this was my standard bearer, and I was just like, cool. I felt done. This was before, as you can see, the whole little command corpse unit right here. This is before I ran into a good deal of some old wood elves being sold, so I've kind of changed a few of these. I still use all of these in the army somewhere, but I've adapted and changed it to fit the way the army was just growing by kitbashing naturally, which you'll see here. Oh, and here's my sorceress. This is still my favorite sculpt in Warhammer. It's so simple. I always keep, might be able to see it right there. Wait, there. Yep, I always keep one extra on spare just in case creativity juices, get blocked and I need to kitbash something. It's simple. I put some vines in her hair, little tree on top of her staff, so she's a sorceress, very clearly, but she's adapted to the living city ways. Now we'll see how things maybe adjust a little bit with some of the stuff I bought. You can see some of the stuff in here, like the general, the steel helms, and all that. If we go a little deeper, you'll see that I've adjusted the standard bearer to be the old wood elf standard bearer that I got my hands upon, and the other standard bearer is now on the base of the Tree Lord Ancient. Just he's carrying around a banner that's unity between the two factions, so I figure it's a good way just to put him with the thing that's not part of the faction technically. And then also you have the old Nomad Prince right here, who's replaced the big burly bear guy, because I wasn't in love with my conversion of it with the Sylvaneth with the big axe. Great, I still have that model. It's hiding back here. I'll use it as something in the army. I'm not sure what. Maybe like I did change the base size back down, so it's probably gonna be like a second Warforger. Just something to be different as I need to. And then yes, as you can see, I got some wood elves. So obviously I wanted some executioners in my not executioners, blackguard in my army, because that 4 board with the sorceress is just chef's kiss, amazing. And new Phoenix Guard. So I wanted 20 of them. That seems like a good number. 30 seems a little unwieldy, so thankfully picked up 20 of these old Glade Guard. Made no changes to them, other than I think I might have added like a human bit here and there on the banner or something, just to tie it in a little bit. Excuse me. I'm sorry, that was a loud one. And also these Wildwood Riders, which I'm just using as Dark Riders right now. Now I could use them as more Cavalier units if I want, because why not? But it's nice, and then obviously I can use these as executioners if I feel like it. So there's play within the army without me having to readjust stuff. Because if I put these models down and say they're blackguard, everyone's gonna be like, cool. If I put them down and say they're executioners, everyone's gonna go, cool. It doesn't seem like a hard stretch there. But anyway, because the point changes, had to pick up this bad boy, the General on mount, which I'm not unhappy about. He's one of the best sculpts I've ever seen. And like I said, just continue to kitbash, threw in some branches here extra from something like the kit. Obviously gave him the old wood elf spear, the hood, but didn't do a ton of extra work. Just wanted to make him look nice and cool. And then obviously some Fusiliers, which as you do, I'm sticking to the lore where they don't have a ton of them because it's hard to transport and move all that stuff for the gun to keep the gunpowder dry, all that, based upon the current Harbinger's book. So I just have 1 unit of them, not 2. I could have done 2, but also after building one of these kits, it's not a fun kit to build. I didn't want to build another one, so I was happy I only had the one. But as you can see, sorry again, just more bits on the shields, on the banner, just to make it cool and unique. Yeah, but I'm excited because I feel like these turned out really well. Even just like here, just throw an extra shield on here. Why not? I had one. And now we have the full army as it stands right now, completely arrayed. Feels good too. That's slightly over 2,000 points, 2,200, 2,300, something like that, which is where I like to be because things go up and down, and I want to be able to mix and match. So happy about where it sits. And then obviously there was a priming day that happened where I did a nice little all over black, and then I did a heavy gray zenithal, and I was going to do a white lighter zenithal. Then I realized I didn't have any white paint. So as of right now, where we're sitting, and I'm not too happy. I might go back and do the white zenithal still, but I'm not unhappy with where they're at. So we got some natural shadows with the even with the heavy zenithal. So everything's primed and zenithalled. Boom, looks good. Looks good. This is where we're sitting. Everything looks good. Ready to just start painting here soon. Now, unfortunately, after this point, they all went back into the army box because let's get a nice perfect zoom here. Perfect. There we go. It's good. I had to do obviously the secret project, which I'm working on over here. It took up a lot of my time. Still is taking some of my time, so I'm not sure when I'm going to get to painting this, but it's going to be a probably quick and easy dry brush, sponge dabbing type process. Nothing too extreme, but I'm going to fit the Living Cities color theme to the best of my ability, and just enjoy the process of it when I get there. Hopefully, Old World doesn't distract me too much, but I'm excited for Old World. Yeah. Anyway, now this all about Cities of Sigmar. I'm going to paint this up in the coming year, and you can expect a at least one more Cities diary update during the painting process, and then one more as I complete this whole journey of building this army, which I feel should have been built and painted before this 2023 season has ended, but here we are. Things get in the way, things adjust. So wherever you're out there, I hope you're having a great holiday season. Merry Christmas to you and yours. I hope you stay healthy. I hope you got plans to go to the gym. I hope you got lots of hobby to do. And as usual, please stay Stormcast strong and happy hobbying. And like I said, down below, let me know what you're working on, and let me know maybe what you want me to cover with Old World Talks too, because you're going to hear a lot more of that here soon. All right, take care, everybody.